Tommy V in Michigan. He was on fire this morning.
Okay, thank you, Tommy V in Michigan. Yes, sir. If you share my prayers.
Tommy V's on. Yeah, we'll jump over there.
Tommy V doing great stuff over there.
Good morning.
Morning.
Are you Miss Sean Green?
Yeah. Trying to get this.
One moment, ma'am. Magistrate Godsey, we're going to get you underway here in just one moment. All right, we are on the record calling State of Michigan versus Sean Marie Green, Green. We have Miss Green before the 55th District Court, appearing via video conference from the Ingham County Jail for arraignment. Miss Green, I'm Magistrate Stephanie Godsey with the 55th District Court for Ingham County. Miss Wanji, can we get your appearance, ma'am?
Yes, thank you. Melanie Wanji from the Public Defender Office.
Thank you. So the complaint we have before our court this morning reads that on or about June 8 of 2024 at 8 Lot 64 in the city of Williamston, County of Ingham, and State of Michigan, that the defendant did, contrary to law in count 1, make an assault or assault and battery upon Heather Green. This is a misdemeanor offense punishable by up to 93 days in the county jail and or $500 fine. Count 2 is another charge of assault or assault and battery alleging that the assault was upon Brandon Green. Also a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in the county jail and or $500 fine. Ms. Green, do you understand the complaint as it's been read to you here this morning, as well as the maximum possible penalties?
You.
All right, very well. Ms. Wanji, not guilty plea?
Not guilty plea, thank you. And also, Ms. Green is requesting a public defender.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, ma'am. Your case is now pending in the 55th District Court. You are scheduled to appear at our court in person for a pretrial conference on Tuesday, June 25th at 1:30 in the afternoon. Upon being released from the jail, you'll get some paperwork, and in that paperwork, you'll find the notice to appear with an upcoming date and time. Your case will either be assigned to our Chief Judge, Judge Allen, or Judge Hillman, but I'm not able to tell you that because today's a Sunday and I'm doing this arraignment remotely, not at the courthouse. So you will be able to find out which judge is assigned by tomorrow morning. But for sure, you are required to come to our court for an in-person pretrial conference, Tuesday, June 25th at 1:30. Do you have any questions there?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Ms. Wanji, on bond, please.
Thank you. My client reports that she had previous drunk driving cases, but that was it's been for a few years now. There is no failure to appear. She has family ties in the community. She has lived here her whole life, and actually she is a caregiver to her uncle, I think so, and that she lives with him. And at the time that we talked, she did not have any alternate address yet, because I explained to her that because both her son and daughter-in-law lives with her in her trailer, she may not be able to return there.
Okay.
So I would request a PR bond and with the request that Miss Green calls the court and let the court know about alternate address. I think she has her daughter and grandmother.
Okay, is she gonna need to go back to that trailer one time to get personal property?
Yes, please.
Okay. Right. Okay, so Miss Green, while you're out on bond, basically starting now and until further order of this court, you are not to purchase, possess, or consume any alcohol. No, no illegal drugs, no marijuana. You're gonna be required to participate in random drug and alcohol testing that's gonna be set up through the 55th District Court. And a part of the court's reasoning for ordering testing is that it is alleged that her preliminary breath test was a 0.204. I see that alcohol looks like it might have been an issue in the past along the way, so testing is being ordered. You're not to purchase or possess any dangerous weapons, so especially no firearms, no ammunition. You are not to assault, harass, intimidate, beat, molest, wound, stalk, or threaten, or engage in any sort of threatening behavior toward Heather Green or Brandon Green. And as of right now, you are not to have any contact, direct or indirect, with either of those persons who the court understands to be your son and daughter-in-law. No contact, direct or indirect. I am required by law to inform you if you are found to have violated the court's no contact order, Miss Green, you'll be immediately rearrested. It's a substitute for an arrest warrant. You could thereafter be charged with a separate crime called contempt of court. And if a violation of the no contact order happens, it's likely that you'll remain in the jail while your case is pending. You're not to enter the property Williamston, Michigan. You may go back to that trailer park, and that trailer, the trailer that you were living in, you can go there one time to get necessary personal property so that you can live somewhere else while this case is pending until further order of the court. When you go there the one time, you must have a police officer physically present with you from the time that you arrive until the time that you leave, and you can do that exactly one time. Any questions there?
Questions, no, just a hospital, back to the hospital.
I'm sorry?
My leg is so swelled up so bad. They got an ACE on it and I got 2 fractures from the, me and Brandon, me and my son
Okay,
fighting.
all right, ma'am. Yep, I'm sorry to hear there's an injury, and if you need to go back to the hospital, then we're gonna give you a high PR bond here so that you don't have to post a bond. $5,000 personal recognizance bond. You are required also to update the 55th District Court of the exact address where you're going to be living. You must do that within 24 hours of being released from the jail.
Okay.
Anything additional here, Ms. Wanji?
No, thank you.
Okay.
Magistrate.
All right, Ms. Green, you are all set with the court, ma'am. Take care of yourself.
All right.
You. Is Mr. McCord going to be applying for the public defender's office, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. Good morning. Hello?
Good morning.
Oh no, he's not going to have one. He said that his dad is making arrangement to have a return attorney.
For McCord?
Yes.
Okay. What's your name, sir?
Honor McCord.
Okay, Mr. McCord. We're calling People of the State of Michigan versus Connor Reese McCord, McCord. Today is June 9, 2024. It's 11 a.m. I am Magistrate Stephanie Godsey, Mr. McCord of the 55th District Court for Ingham County. We have a 1-count felony criminal complaint to arraign you on this morning. And Ms. Wanji, your appearance, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Magistrate Godsey. This is Melanie Wanji from the Public Defender Office.
Thank you. All right, Mr. McCord, the complaint we have alleges that on or about June 8 of 2024, the location described as eastbound I-96 freeway near Williamston Road in Wheatfield Township, Ingham County, state of Michigan, that the defendant did, contrary to law on count 1, carry a dangerous weapon, that being a pistol, whether concealed or otherwise, in a vehicle operated or occupied by said defendant. The vehicle being more accurately described as a Toyota Corolla. Carrying a concealed weapon is a felony offense, punishable by up to 5 years in prison or $2,500 fine. Also, mandatory forfeiture of a weapon or device. Mr. McCord, do you understand the charge as it's been read to you, as well as the maximum possible penalties?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, very well. This case is pending in the 55th District Court. Upon being released from the jail, you will receive some paperwork from the sheriff's deputies. And in that paperwork, one of the things you're going to find is your notice to appear at our court. And also for your frame of reference, our court is in the same building as the jail that you're in right now in Mason, Michigan, in the Ingham Justice Complex. So you're scheduled to come to our court in person for 2 separate court dates. The first is a probable cause conference on Tuesday, June 18th at 8:30 in the morning. And then 1 week later, your case is scheduled for a preliminary examination on Tuesday, June 25th at 9:30 in the morning. And like I said, you'll get that in writing with upcoming court dates and times. You must appear in person for all of your future court dates. Any questions?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. All right. So, Ms. Wanji, I believe that you were present when we heard the swear to for this case. It doesn't appear that Mr. McCord has any prior criminal history that the court is aware of. Court would be inclined to just set a PR bond with appropriate bond conditions, but I am certainly happy to hear from you.
Well, yes, thank you. It's true that Mr. McCord does not have any prior, whether it's even juvenile. I explained to him that because he's not really a resident of the county, the court may give him a PR bond, but the court is gonna trust him that he's gonna come to court when request to do so, and he said that he would do so. He has not. He said that his dad is making arrangements to have a public defender, to have an attorney, retained attorney for him. And I explained to him that at any time he can always call the office. If he cannot afford an attorney, he can call the office to get a public defender.
Okay, thank you.
So I will request a PR bond for him. Thank you.
Okay. And Mr. McCord, I sometimes just move right along, and it dawns on the court that this is probably a very new process for you. So we're going to just back up for a minute. So it is very important that you understand some of the rights that you have. Okay. You have the right to have an attorney present with you at each and every court appearance, as well as if you are questioned by police. And as Ms. Wanji, I know, has talked to you about, if for whatever reason you're not able to hire your own attorney, you can always apply for the public defender's office, because you never waive your constitutional right to have an attorney present with you. Okay. Yeah, you have other rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything that you state verbally or place in writing could be used against you in a court of law. You are presumed to be innocent of this offense unless and until you're proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to demand a jury trial. And Ms. Wanji, just for the record, I have demanded the exam on Mr. McCord's behalf. Okay, so with regard to your bond, the bond's going to be a $5,000 personal bond, personal recognizance. You don't have to post any money for the bond as long as you come to court as scheduled and follow all of your bond conditions. It's your good faith promise. And as long as you come to court as scheduled and follow all your bond conditions, that bond will remain a free bond. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, you're welcome. We are going to need you to report to Ingham County Pretrial Services. You should get a brochure for that agency when you're released from the jail. You have to call them, Mr. McCord. You have to call them within 2 days of being released from the jail. That will satisfy your initial report. That's the agency that'll supervise you. while you're out on bond, while this felony case is pending. Beyond that, you're not to purchase, possess, or consume any alcohol, no illegal drugs, no marijuana. You'll be subject to random drug and alcohol testing, which is not ordered as of today. It's putting you on notice. It could be at any point while the case is pending, you would be notified. And then finally, for now, and until further order of this court, you are not to purchase or possess any dangerous weapons, and that especially prohibits firearms and ammunition. Any questions? Okay. Anything additional here, Ms. Wanji?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. McCord, let the deputies there, you can walk out of that room, let the deputies know you got a PR bond. That's what they're going to want to know. And good luck to you. Take care.
Told them I'm ready to go. I'm
Yeah.
all good to.
They're just waiting on,
Alright.
they're waiting on some paperwork from me. But let them know you got a PR bond, and I would imagine you'd be getting released from the jail pretty soon.
Alrighty. Thank you, ma'am. You have a good one. Please.
Too. Good morning. Are you William Murphy?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Murphy, be with you in just one moment.
Could I have 5 minutes to talk to him, finish up the paperwork?
All right. We're on the record and we're calling the matter of People of the State of Michigan versus William James Murphy, M-U-R-P-H-Y. Mr. Murphy, I'm Magistrate Stephanie Godsey with the 55th District Court for Ingham County. We have a felony criminal file to arraign you on this morning. Ms. Wanji, can we start out with your appearance, ma'am?
Yes, Assistant Public Defender Melanie Biwanji.
Thank you. Mr. Murphy, our court does have before it a felony criminal complaint alleging that on or about June 8, 2024, at a location described as in Meridian Township, Ingham County, and State of Michigan, that the defendant did, contrary to law in count 1, make an assault upon Jacia Henderson by strangulation or suffocation. This is punishable by up to 10 years in prison or $5,000 fine, DNA to be taken upon arrest. Count 2 alleges domestic violence, that the defendant did make an assault or assault and battery upon Jacia Henderson, an individual with whom he had a dating relationship. This is a misdemeanor offense punishable by up to 93 days in the county jail and or $500 fine. Mr. Murphy, do you understand the charges as they've been read to you here this morning, as well as the maximum possible penalties?
Yes.
All right, very well. Okay. You have many rights in your case, Mr. Murphy. You have the right to have an attorney present with you at each and every court appearance, as well as if you are questioned by police. Ms. Wanji has indicated you are applying for the public defender's office, and I have made that note in your court file. You have other rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything that you state verbally or place in writing may be used against you in a court of law. You are presumed to be innocent of these offenses unless and until you are proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to demand a jury trial. There are 2 court dates already scheduled for you in the 55th District Court, which is in the very same building as the jail that you're sitting in right now. We're located in Mason, Michigan, attached to the Sheriff's Department. You're scheduled to appear at our court for a probable cause conference on Tuesday, June 18th at 8:30 in the morning. And then 1 week later for a preliminary examination on Tuesday, June 25th at 9:30 in the morning. You're going to get a notice to appear. You'll get a copy of that and some other paperwork before you're released from the jail. Any questions there?
No.
All right then. Ms. Wanji, on bond then.
Thank you, Magistrate. It is my understanding that my client has no prior criminal record or juvenile offenses, that there is no failure to appear. He has family ties in the community. He lives with his sister. He's also have family. He has ties because he have a job in the community. And for all those reasons, we will request a PR bond. Thank you.
Was he living at the,
He lives at the alleged victim does not. And I explained to him that there would probably be a no contact order with her.
all right. So some of your bond conditions, Mr. Murphy, are that you are, because one of the charges against you is a felony, you have to contact Ingham County Pretrial Services. They're the agency responsible for supervising anybody charged with a felony while they're out of jail while the case is pending. You should get a brochure, like a pamphlet with their contact information. You must call them within 2 days of being released from the jail. Whatever time you get out today on a Sunday, you have to call them by no later than that time on Tuesday. Tomorrow, it would be preferable Monday. You're not to purchase, possess, or consume any alcohol, no illegal drugs, no marijuana. You're going to be required to participate in random drug and alcohol testing. That'll be ordered through pretrial services. They'll be the ones to set that up for you and make sure you understand your drug and alcohol testing requirements. You're not to purchase or possess any dangerous weapons, especially no guns, no ammunition. You're not to assault, harass, intimidate, beat, molest, wound, stalk, threaten, or engage in any other conduct likely to place any of the following persons or a child of any of the following persons in reasonable fear of bodily injury. That list includes a current or former spouse, anybody with whom you have a child in common, or any current or former resident of your household. It's really just a way of telling you to keep the domestic peace, full stop, period. Okay? All those conditions apply specifically to Josiah Henderson. And starting now and until further order of the court, you are not to have any contact with Josiah Henderson, direct or indirect. So not in person, in writing, no social media, texting, emails, no phone calls, no jail phone calls. You're also prohibited, Mr. Murphy, from trying to get through to her through somebody else. That's indirect contact. It's also prohibited. You should know that if you're found to have violated the court's no contact order, you'll be immediately rearrested by the first police officer who finds you. It's a substitute for an arrest warrant. And if that happens, you would likely be charged with contempt of court, a separate crime. And also, violations of the no contact order typically result in the person just sitting in jail while their case is pending and not getting back out. So I just want you to understand how important the no contact provision is. Okay? All right?
Okay.
Okay. So the court, go ahead. Did you have a question?
No.
Okay. The court is not going to prohibit you from going back to the raindrop property. But what I will say is if you go there and Miss Henderson is there, you can't be there.
She won't be there.
Okay. I mean, we'll see what happens, but you just need to understand that. I mean, Miss Wanji told me that this is your primary residence where you live with a family member and that it's likely that Miss Henderson is living elsewhere. If that's the case, fine. But if you're there and she ends up being there, you would be the one to be arrested, not her. So just so you understand that, you can't be in contact with her no matter where she is. All right, this is going to be a $25,000 personal recognizance bond. You don't have to post it. I see that you've got a clean record. We're going to give you the benefit of the doubt here, but it's a very high PR bond to just make sure you understand that if there are problems while you're out on bond, that bond will likely be $25,000 cash or surety after that or higher.
Okay.
All right. You can let the deputies know that you did get a PR bond. That's what they're going to want to know. And you should be released as soon as they're able to process you out when they get the paperwork from the court. Okay?
Right.
All right. Good luck to you.